જય હિન્દ દોસ્તો, આપ સૌનું સ્વાગત છે મારી યુટ્યુબ ચેનલ ઉપર। આજે આપણે જોશું PSI વાયરલેસ 2012-13ના પેપરનું સોલ્યુશન જોશું। તેમાં ટેકનિકલ પાર્ટના 35 ક્વેશ્ચન હતા। પર ક્વેશ્ચન 2 માર્ક હતા, એટલે 70 માર્ક્સ। ટેકનિકલ એન્ડ મેથ્સ એન્ડ રિઝનિંગના 30 ક્વેશ્ચન હતા। પર ક્વેશ્ચન 1 માર્ક। 30 ક્વેશ્ચનના મેથ્સ એન્ડ રિઝનિંગ હતું। આમ ટોટલ 100 માર્ક્સનું ક્વેશ્ચન પેપર 2 અવરમાં આપણે કમ્પ્લીટ કરવાનું હતું। નાઉ ધ ફર્સ્ટ આ ટેકનિકલ ક્વેશ્ચનમાં 2 લેંગ્વેજ હતી, ગુજરાતી અને ઇંગ્લિશ। ગુજરાતી અને ઇંગ્લિશ આપણે હવે જ્યારે 2021માં પેપર આવશે તેમાં નોટિફિકેશનમાં લખેલ જ છે કે સ્પેશિયલ ટેકનિકલ પેપર છે ઇંગ્લિશમાં જ હશે। તો આપણે આ જે ક્વેશ્ચન છે બધા આજે ઇંગ્લિશમાં જ જોશું। નાઉ ધ ક્વેશ્ચન નંબર 1, ડિટરમાઇન ધ વેલ્યુ ઓફ આલ્ફા વેન બીટા ઇઝ 100। ઓપ્શન A 1.01, ઓપ્શન B 101, ઓપ્શન C 0.99 and option D cannot be determined with the given information. We have equation alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. Then put the value of beta is equal to 100 upon 1 plus beta is equal to 101. Then we got answer 0.99. Alpha is the current gain in the common base configuration and beta is the current gain in common emitter configuration. This is the equation of alpha and beta. Alpha is equal to IC upon IE and beta is equal to IC upon IB. We can derive the equation of alpha and beta from this equation. I is equal to IC plus IB, where I is equal to emitter current, collector current and base current. Divide both sides by IC, then we get 1 upon alpha is equal to 1 plus 1 upon beta. Finally, we got beta is equal to alpha upon 1 minus alpha and alpha is equal to beta upon 1 plus beta. These two equations are very important. Now the question number 2. A clipper. Option A adds a DC component to input voltage. Option B adds an AC component to input voltage. Option C removes signal voltage above or below a specified value. And option D all of above. Then the answer is option C removes signal voltage above or below a specified value. A clipper is a circuit designed to prevent a signal from exceeding a predetermined reference voltage. Clipper circuit can remove certain portion of arbitrary waveform near positive or negative peak or both. Clipping changes the shape of waveform and alters its spectral component. Now we can see the figure of positive clipper and negative clipper. This is the positive clipper, negative clipper. The diode. This is the positive clipper. Diode is connected. Positive clipper means the positive portion of the analog signal is clip, means hide. Only negative signal will be passed. This is called the positive clipper. When we use the negative clipper, the negative part of that signal is clip, means hide. This is called the negative clip. This is the figure of positive clipper and negative clipper. Now the question number 3. In an amplifier with the negative feedback, the bandwidth is option A increased by factor beta, option B decreased by factor beta, option C increased by a factor of A plus A beta, and D not affected at all by the feedback, when the A is the gain of basic amplifier and B is the feedback factor. Then the answer is C, increased by a factor of A plus beta. Here we can see the negative feedback system, negative feedback circuit. This is the input voltage, this is the summing point, this is the open loop gain, this is the attenuator beta, feedback network, out, V out, Now this is the figure of negative feedback circuit. Using the figure of negative feedback equation, we get system gain is equal to V out upon V in. Then the G into V in is equal to V out. Then V in is equal to, as per figure, V in minus, this is the beta into V out. This is called the V input minus beta V output. Then we get GV in minus beta GV out is equal to V out. GV in is equal to V out 1 plus beta G. Here is the beta is the feedback fraction and the feedback factor. Question number 4. In the analysis of common emitter amplifier, we may neglect option A HRE, B HOE, C HFE, D HIE. Then the answer is A HRE. Question number 5. If the peak value of the input voltage of half-wave rectifier is 28.28 volts and no filter is used, then the maximum DC voltage across the load will be, and the option A is 20 volt, B 15 volt, C 9 volt and D is 14.14 volt. Then the answer is 9 volt. We have equation of DC voltage. VDC is equal to Vmax upon pi. Then we get 0.318 into Vmax is equal to 0.45 Vrms. Here we have value of Vmax is the 28.28. Then we put this value in this formula. Then we get the VDC is equal to 9 volt. This formula also you want to remember. VDC is equal to 0.45 Vrms. In the future it may be important. The V maximum is the maximum peak voltage of value of AC wave and AC supply, and Vrms is the root mean square value of the supply voltage. Here you can get 0.318 into 28.28. Then you get 9 volt. Then the answer is option C. Question number 6. In a PCM system with uniform quantization, increase the number of bit 8 to 9 will reduce to quantization noise power by a factor of option A 9, B 2, C 8, D 4. Then the answer is option D 4. We have equation of signal to noise ratio is equal to 2 raised to 2n. Here we have n is equal to 8 to 9. Then we can use the n as the n1 is equal to n, n2 is equal to 9. Then signal to noise ratio as n1 is 8, then 2 raised to, we get 2 raised to 16. When we use n2 is equal to 9, we get 2 raised to 18. This is the signal to noise ratio. N1 is equal to 9 upon n2 is equal to 8. Then we get answer 2 raised to 2 is equal to 4. Now the question number 7. Information content of a message is option A inversely proportional to message probability, option B directly proportional to message probability, option C proportional to number of message, and option D independent of message probability. Then the answer is inversely proportional to message probability. Information I is inversely proportional to probability. Question number 8. The basic propagation mechanism of radio waves are option A radiation, diffraction, scattering, option B radiation, attenuation, scattering, option C reflection, diffraction, scattering, and option D reflection, diffraction and radiation. Then the answer is reflection, diffraction and scattering. Question number 9. When the two on a coin are simultaneously tossed, the probability of two heads on any given trial is option A 1, B 3 by 4, C 1 by 2 and D 1 by 4. Then the answer is 1 by 4. Here we see a solution of when the two coins are tossed, then n is equal to 2. Then the number of possibility is equal to 2 raised to n. Means we have 4 possibility. We get in one coin head, yeah, and second coin tail and head, both are head and both are tail. Then in the question we want to find two heads. Then we have only one possibility of two head. Then the probability is the number of possibility is 1 upon total possibility. Then the answer is 1 by 4. Question number 10. A random variable is uniformly distributed in the range of -1 to 3. Then the mean and variance of this random variable are respectively option A 1 and 4 by 3, 2 1 by 2 and 2 by 3, option C 1 and 2 by 3, option B 2 and 4 by 3. Then the answer is 1 and 4 by 3. Then the solution is mean is equal to A plus B by 2. Then we have -1 plus 3 is equal to 2. Then 2 by 2 is equal to 1. Variance is equal to B minus A whole square upon 12. Then that B is equal to 3 minus A is equal to -1. Then 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 square is equal to 16 upon 12. Then the answer is 4 by 3. Which type of web document is run at client side? Option A static, dynamic, C active and all of above. Then the answer is option D, all of above. Question number 12. Manchester encoding is used by A Ethernet, B token ring, C both of above, option D none of above. Then the answer is Ethernet. Manchester code was widely used for magnetic recording on 1600 bpi computer tapes before the introduction of 6250 bpi tapes, which used for more efficient group-coded recording. Manchester code was used in early Ethernet physical layer standard and is still used in consumer IR protocol, RFID and near-field communication. Then the answer is Ethernet physical layer. OSI stand for question number 13. OSI stand for option A open system interconnection, option B open standard interconnection, option C open software interface and option D open software industries. Then the answer is option A open system interconnection. Question number 14. The environment variable script name in CGI script specify option A domain name of computer running on server, option B the path of URL after server name, option C name of server and option D name of above. Then the answer is B the path of URL after server name. We have some information about all instruction. Here the all instruction you want to check it. Here we have find the script name, the virtual path of the script being executed means the path information. And the answer is option B the path of URL after server name. Question number 15. Which of the address are used in data link layer? 1 logical, 2 hardware, 3 network, 4 physical. Then option is 1 and 2, B 2 and 3, C 1 and 3 and option D 2 and 4. Then the answer is 2 and 4 means hardware and physical. Question number 16. In addition of two signed numbers represent two complement form generates an overflow if A into B is equal to 0, B is A is equal to 0, option C A to complement B is equal to 1 and option D A plus B is equal to 1. Then the answer is option C. Here is the number. This is the binary number 000100100. If we want to find the ones complement of this binary number, then the invert 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, 1 to 0, 0 to 1, and 0 to 1. And plus add 1 into 1's complement, you get 2 complement. Then the add is 1. Now 1 plus 1 is equal to 0 and carry is 1. Then the carry is 1. 1 plus 1 is again 0. 1 carry is forwarding. Then 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. After all this is its same it is. Then you can find the 2's complement of any binary number by this method. Question number 17. Memory access in RISC architecture is limited to instruction. Option A ST and LDA, option B call and RET, option C push and pop, option D move and JMP. Then the answer is option A STA and LDA, where the RISC stand for reduced instruction set computer. STA is the main function of STA is for copying data from accumulator to memory location, and LDA function of LDA is copying data from memory location to accumulator. Question number 18. Question number 18. In a floating point data in general any ANSI language, internal representation text option A 2 bytes, B 8 bytes, C 6 bytes, and D 4 bytes. Then the answer is 4 bytes. Question number 19. The main principle behind using cache memory is option A locality of reference, B faster access time, C static memory, and D all of above. Then answer is locality of reference. Here the principle of locality of reference. Locality of reference refers to the tendency of the computer program to access instructions whose addresses are near to one another. Question number 20. Which of the following requires the value of data with instruction? A direct, option B indirect, C base index, and D immediate. Then the answer is immediate. Question number 21. The minimum number of comparators required to build 8-bit flash ADC is option A 8, B 255, option C 256, option D 63. Then the answer is 255. Here we have solution. The number of bits is 8. Then the number of comparators required is equal to 2 raised to n minus 1. Then 2 raised to 8 is equal to 256 minus 1 is equal to 255. Question number 22. A binary ladder network digital to analog converter requires option A register of 2 different values, option B register of 1 value only, register of many different value, and option D register and capacitor. Then the answer is option A register of 2 different values. Question number 23. The advantage of using duals of ADC in DVM is option A small conversion time, B high accuracy, C BCD output, and option D no need of comparator. Then the answer is high accuracy. Question number 24. Determine the output frequency of frequency division circuit that contains 10 flip-flop with input clock frequency is equal to 20.48 megahertz. Then the option is 10 into 24 kilohertz, option B 20 kilohertz, option C 30.24 kilohertz, and option D 15 kilohertz. Then the answer is 20 kilohertz. We have solution in the below. If the output frequency is given is equal to input frequency upon 2 raised to n, when the n is number of flip-flop. In the equation we have 10 number of flip-flop, then the n is 10. In the f out is equal to f in upon 2 raised to n. We have input frequency is equal to 20.48 into 10 raised to 6 hertz and 2 raised to 10. then we get 20,100 is equal to 20k kilohertz. By using this formula, you can find the output frequency, input frequency. If the given is input frequency, then you can find output frequency. If the given in the equation is the output frequency, then you can find easily input frequency by using this formula. Now the question number 25. The current rating of TTL series logic are IOL maximum is equal to 8 microampere, IOH maximum minus 0.4 milliampere, IIL maximum minus 0.1 milliampere, IIH maximum 20 microampere. If all gates are 2 input NAND gate, then find the F out. F out is fan out is option A 10, option B 20, option C 60, option D 80. Then the answer is 20. We have solution below the question. Now the F out, the formula of F out high is equal to IOH upon IIH. Option formula of fan out low, so IOL upon IIL. Now put the value of both. Put the value in the both equation, then we get value of fan out high is equal to 0.4 into 10 raised to minus 3 upon 20 into 10 raised to minus 6. Then we get fan out high is equal to 20, and fan out low is equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 upon 0.1 into 10 raised to minus 3. Then we get 80. Now the effective fan out is equal to minimum fan out high in fan out low. Then the minimum 2 into 80, 20 and 80, the minimum is 20. Then the answer is effective fan out is 20. You can remember two formula. F out high is equal to IOH upon IH, and F out low is equal to IOL upon IIL. Then you want to find the minimum of both two, minimum of in between two, then that will be answer. Question number 26. A literal in Boolean algebra means option A, a variable in its uncomplemented form only, option B, a variable arrayed with its complement, option C, a variable in its complement form only, and option D, a variable in its complemented and uncomplemented form. Then the answer is option D. Now the question number 27. What is the true about a NAND gate? Option A, AND followed by NOT gate, B, bubble OR gate, option C, universal gate, and option D, all of above. Then the answer is all or above is correct. Here the option A, AND followed by NOT gate. This is the figure of AND gate followed by NOT gate. This is the called also NAND gate. AND plus NOT is equal to NAND. Here the option B is equal to bubbled OR. This is the A and B, and this is the two bubble. This A bar, B bar is called. Now the final result is A bar plus B bar. Now the using given formula you can find the exact result of bubble OR gate. This is the universal gate, NAND gate, and NOR gate, NAND, and this is the bubble. This is the truth table of NAND gate. If the input is 0, 0, then you get 1. If the input is 0, 1, then you get 1. If input is A and 0, 1 and 0, then you get 1. Both input are 1, then you get 0. Here the formula of Boolean expression of NAND gate is X is equal to A dot B bar. Question number 28. What are number of maximum min term in 4 variable logic function design? Option A 16, B 8, C 4, and D none. Then the answer is 16. We have min term is equal to 2 raised to n. Here the n is equal to 4 variable logic function. Then the 2 raised to 4 is 16. Then the min term needed is option A 16. Question number 29. Consider the circuit in the following figure. The circuit works as option A D flip-flop, option B T flip-flop, option C a circuit whose output is always 1, option D data insufficient. This is the figure of T flip-flop, option B. Question number 30. If the input is activated by signal transition and it is known as a option A line trigger, B as trigger, C pulse trigger, D none of above, then the answer is as trigger. Question number 31. In a FET, one junction has a reverse bias on the one side and forward bias on other. Option B, both the junction are reverse bias. Option C, one junction is reverse bias and other is forward bias. And option D, one junction is reverse bias on both sides of junction. Then the answer is option D, one junction has a reverse bias on both sides of junction. Here the figure of P channel, JPT and N channel. Gain rate source, gain drain source. The current direction is out and current direction is in. In the mission PSI, we have playlist. In the we already study about JPT. You can find the video and see the some MCQ regarding to FET. Link is in the description. Question number 32. The photodiode is operated in a reverse bias condition, B zero bias condition, C either of two, and option D none of two. Then the answer is either of two. Means photodiode operated in reverse bias condition and zero bias condition. Photodiode are generally reverse bias cathode with operated in higher voltage than anode. The photodiode can also be zero bias with both anode and cathode as same potential. The preference of reverse bias in many circuits is because of the somewhat lower photodiode capacitance that occurs with non-zero reverse bias. Means photodiode operates in both conditions, reverse bias condition and zero bias condition. Then the answer is C. Question number 33. The breakdown mechanism in a lightly doped PN junction under a reverse bias condition is called option A avalanche breakdown, B channel breakdown, C breakdown by tunneling, and option D high voltage breakdown. Then we have called this is avalanche breakdown. Avalanche breakdown occurs when the lightly doped PN junction, when the reverse voltage increases beyond 5 volt. Further, it is difficult to control this phenomenon as the number of charge carrier generated cannot be directly controlled. Then, moreover, the avalanche breakdown voltage has positive temperature coefficient, meaning which is the avalanche breakdown voltage increases with the increase in the junction temperature. When you increase the temperature of junction, then the avalanche breakdown voltage also increases. Avalanche breakdown occurs. Question number 34. Choose the proper substitute of X and Y to make the following statement correct. Tunnel diode and photodiode are operated in X bias and Y bias. Means tunnel diode operating in which bias? Reverse EF forward, and avalanche photodiode operating in which bias? Reverse EF forward. Then the option is X is X reverse bias, Y forward bias. Option B X reverse bias, Y reverse bias. Option C X forward bias, Y reverse bias. Option D X forward bias, Y forward bias. Then the answer is X is forward bias, Y reverse bias. Means tunnel diode operates in forward bias and avalanche photodiode operates in reverse bias. Here we have some figure of symbol of tunnel diode. This is the tunnel diode, anode, cathode, and this is the you can to battery connected to battery, then there is operated in forward bias. Here the figure of avalanche photodiode. Here the N plus is P plus, P and I layer. The photon is incident. This is the positive terminal connected to N and negative terminal connected to P. Means this is the called reverse bias. and the avalanche photodiode operates in reverse bias. Question number 35. Important characteristic of emitter follower is option A, high input impedance and low output impedance. Option B, high input impedance and low output impedance. Option C, high input impedance and low output impedance. Option D, low input impedance and high output impedance. Then the option B is right. High input impedance and low output impedance. High input impedance and low output impedance in the emitter follower. Emitter follower is a case of negative current feedback circuit. This is the mostly used in last stage amplifier in signal generator circuit. The important feature in emitter follower are it has high input impedance and it is a low output impedance. High input impedance and low output impedance. Here the question and solution are over. The PDF file of this question solution is available in our Telegram channel. The link is in the description. Paper and solution both PDF. Thank you.